Hey, this is Michael Holmes with some more simple wealth building tips. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome. This is Michael Holmes with Renew Excellence Society, and tonight we're going to be going over our R.E.A.L Mastermind Group where we're reading Think and Grow Rich, and also we're going to go into some real estate teaching as well. We're going to go over the fundamentals of real estate investing, give you a few tips and a few understandings of the fundamentals of some of the terminologies and stuff. Now, just to give you a recap of what we did go over before, that's what we'll be starting over here, which is the overview of the creative FSBOs for sale by owners. But for everybody, all of you guys that are a part of the R.E.A.L Mastermind Group, Renew Excellence Advanced Leadership Mastermind Group, what we're going to do, we're going to be reading Think and Grow Rich. That's what we're doing right now. Matter of fact, is reading Think and Grow Rich. And right now we've read past the desire and into the faith stage as well. And everybody should have been writing down their definite chief aim. And what we're going to be looking into on the definite chief aim, you should have a good understanding where you're going, how you're going to get there, the amount of money you're determined to make, and the time frame that you're going to do that. And what I mean by that is what we're looking at is the end goal. And whatever your end goal is, that's when you've determined your why, what you've actually, what are you working for? Could it be your children? It could be your spouse. It could be numerous things. But generally, you don't want to do just money, because generally when you do just money, it doesn't give you the motivation to get over the negative aspects, the haterisms and stuff like that are out there. So when you just look at money itself, it does not give you that proper motivation. At least it doesn't give me the proper motivation, and most people I've talked to as well. So what I'm looking for when I determine my why and my end goal, what I'm looking for is what the money is going to be able to do for me. It's going to be able to free myself. It's going to be able to give me options. It's going to be able to help my son, give him more options. It's going to be able to help me do things that I want to do, give me that freedom, that time freedom that I want. It's going to be able to get me the time back that I put into the business to actually generate the money to give me the time. Understand where I'm coming from with that. Because anytime you're doing business, it's a scale basically. You're going to put in a lot of time, and you're not going to get paid a whole lot of money at first. But during the process, you're going to put in less time because you start to leverage yourself, and you're using the systems and the strategies that we're putting in place. So you start to leveraging different things. So you start to buy back your time. And then the money starts to come in. You start to generate the money. Now you're able to use the money to spend more time with the family, spend more time maybe getting a second degree, because everybody may not want to do, home-based business or some type of business itself as their ultimate goal. Some people want to open up a business, and that's fine. But some people want to stay at this particular job. You may be a doctor, a lawyer, you may be a janitor. It doesn't matter whatever that is. Everybody has those different passions. So the money allows you to do different things to help you to advance maybe. It could be numerous things. So when you're reading your Think and Grow Rich, it has to be behind that desire. That desire has to be white, hot, burning. So when you think about it, you wake up every day understanding, hey, I'm going toward this desire. So when you bump into different things that may seem to get in your way, or may seem to frustrate you, or may seem to, prevent you, or an obstacle for success, then you have the end goal or your why in mind. And mine itself, as we've spoken before, I have a son that I actually have, I want to put him in a private school. I want to make sure that he has the type of lifestyle that he can enjoy. He can be able to have the choosing, the options that he wants to do. He'll be able to follow his joy in life. Not what I want him to do, but I want to have enough money to be able to do what he wants to do in life. Of course, I'm giving the guidance that a father would, but I want to have that to where he'll be able to do whatever he wants to do. And also the money, of course, gives me options. It allows me to do the traveling and, the real estate deals and those type of things that I love to do as well. So when I bump into different things and that may upset me, or that may seem like they're in the way, or obstacles, I still wake up in the morning excited because I know what I'm working towards. I know what I'm going towards, and I know that as long as my desire is white hot and I follow the scientific steps that are laid out, the 13 steps or the 13 traits that the most successful people have in common, according to Think and Grow Rich, then I know that I will achieve my purpose. Napoleon Hill says, anything that the mind can conceive and perceive, it can achieve. I may have messed that up a little bit, but basically saying if you can believe a thing and you desire it, wholeheartedly, and you put the actions behind it, then you are guaranteed to go and get it. You may bump into a couple of things along the way, and that's what people think, that when they bump into those things, that it ends the process. No, it does not provide failure or anything like that. It's just a way that you found out that doesn't work. Now you change the process a little bit. You don't change your why. You don't change the destination. You just change the process a little bit. You adjust the sail, if you would. Jim Rohn says that when life happens to you, you don't change the sailboat. You change the sail itself. You adjust to the wind, and you adjust your sail to give you the same direction that you need to be going toward. So now you have your end goal, you have your desire, and now you have your faith behind that as well. And it speaks about your faith. And the faith is, of course, the evidence of things hoped for, the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. That is a definition that is given to us by one of the ancient scriptures. And when you look at those things, your faith itself is your what you have designed in your imagination, which allows you to see the end goal. Okay, so when you bump into failure, you see that it's just simply an illusion to try to get you, not try to get you, but it helps to stop people. I won't say it helps stop people, but that's what stops people, is the perceiving of failure. It's just an illusion. One thing that is an acronym for fear is that false evidence appearing real. So as long as you keep plugging into your systems, your strategies, and your structure, along with Renew Excellence Advanced Leadership, we have the calls available, we have the mentorship available, website available with the recordings and stuff like that. We have a community of people that are doing the same things, that are advancing in life by going over these obstacles. So we practice every day these 13 strategies, okay? And that's why we're reading Think and Grow Rich right now, because we want to do it as a community, so that when we get together on Monday nights, then we can listen to one another talk about it, if that's the case. Sometimes we have questions, sometimes we may not, because really and truly everything is self-explanatory there. It's just the action. And a lot of times when you have something to plug into like this, a call, and everybody that that are reading, they're along the same mindset, then you're doing a mastermind group, and you'll get to that as you continue to read Think and Grow Rich. And that's where we came up with the Renew Excellence Advanced Leadership Mastermind Group, or R.E.A.L, the R.E.A.L Mastermind Group. And this mastermind group starts, and we're reading Think and Grow Rich, and we'll develop into other books a little later as we go throughout the year. But we're also going to be setting our goals. And if you have your definite chief aim, if you have not, I've sent everybody a study aid as well, to help you go along with the book and give you some highlights and things like that. If you have not received your study aid, check your email. And if you have not, please email me and let me know. That's Michael Holmes, MICHAEL HOLMES, @themichaelholmes.com. And just let me know you need to get your study aid and stuff like that, so you can get your definite chief aim in place. And what the definite chief aim does, it gives you something that you write it down and you read it 3 times a day. When you wake up in the morning, in the middle of the day, and you make sure you go to sleep with it on your mind as well. And this is what fuels your desire. It also fuels or ignites your faith, because it gives you something to perceive. It gives you something to create imagination around, okay? And that's what we practice upon. And then we understand, we get the strategies and the skills from the Renew Excellence Advanced Leadership practices and the calls and the demonstrations that we do, and those things that we practice daily, so that we can understand how to talk to people, how to prospect people. And what I mean by that is those people that are the for sale by owners, how to talk to them. We have scripts available for you. We have everything that you need to be able to talk to them in the right formal fashion that you can feel confident. And the best way to get confidence is to prepare. And when you have a preparation, then your success is really inevitable, because the confidence is what's needed to get through the actions that you want to go through. Okay? And so that's what our basic mindset is on tonight, to understand that failure is just an illusion. You're going to bump into things along the way. It's just human. Life is nothing but obstacles and opportunity. Obstacles and opportunity. Difficulties, opportunity. And then what we want to do is make sure that we understand there's a mix there. And when that mix is happening, we still understand we're going to our destiny. We're going to reach our destiny, and we don't give a crap what's in the middle of going to that destiny, because we know we can overcome it with the proper mindset, with our chief definite aim written down, and we understand our goals, where we're headed, and we understand our why, and we're practicing, and we understand failure is just an illusion. Okay, and what we did before in our previous episodes, in our previous R.E.A.L episodes, we talked about for sale by owners, the creative ways to actually get talking to and obtaining or taking control of different properties by the creative strategies, which generally takes no credit. Well, really always takes no credit, and generally no cash or very little cash to get those things done. So that's why I wanted to start with that. And as we go through our trainings, we're going to start transitioning into the wholesaling as well. And wholesaling is the basic wholesaling is this: just being the middleman, finding a great deal and be able to pass it on to a cash buyer at a great deal as well, and then make the middle change in between, or the middle cash in between. Okay, and that's really of no risk. And we'll look into that here a little bit later. Okay, now if you excuse me, and what we want to make sure that we're doing is to understand a couple of terms here, okay? And the best thing I want to do is, as I gave you the introduction of the first couple of episodes, we talked about FISBOs and those type of things. Now I want to give you a couple of terms here so that you can get an underlying understanding when you're going through the motions, okay? Now, title itself, as you see up on the screen, is a set of rights that it gives one control and possession. Okay, when you own a title to a car, you understand that that's your car. And it's the same thing with real estate. You have a title, okay, and then you also have the deed. But right now we're talking about the title. And the title gives you a couple of things, several things: quiet and peaceful enjoyment. You have a right to that. These are your set of rights. It gives you the right to encumbrance if you need to, which is to place a lien upon it. If you own the title and you have a certain amount of equity within that, then you're able to actually go and get let's say, a line of credit based upon that, and then there's a lien placed upon that if you didn't pay it off or while you're doing the paying off of it. And then that's also the disposition of it. You're able to sell it, lease, or barter with it. It belongs to you. This is your set of rights, okay? So that's the difference between your title and then your deed, okay? Now, the deed itself is the physical document. That's what's recorded in the courthouse, in the county courthouse and everything. And there are several types, 4 types. You have your general warranty, and this gives you the most protection. This is what you want, all the time when you're getting ready to buy a home. Let's say, for instance, if you're getting ready to buy your first home, or you're getting ready to, buy a new home, those type of things, you want to make sure there's no hidden liens or encumbrances on it whatsoever. So when you have a general warranty deed, then it makes sure that there's none now or nor ever has been any encumbrances or hidden liens upon it. Now, your special warranty, that's limited protection, okay? And that's generally typical for your wholesalers. When we're out there and we're doing wholesale deeds and stuff like that, and that's just basically saying, okay, right now, there's nothing upon this. There's no hidden liens, there's no encumbrances or anything like that, okay? Now, the special warranty, when you're doing this type of thing, if you're on the other end of it, let's say, for instance, if you're the wholesaler and you're giving it over to the cash buyer at the end, then generally what the cash buyer is going to do, he's going to do a title search. to make sure that there's nothing else behind it in the previous past, that there's no hidden liens or encumbrances. Okay, that is not your actual deal. That is not what you want to do as a wholesaler or have to do as a wholesaler. But as a cash buyer, if you're going to be a cash buyer, then you're going to do a title search to make sure that there's nothing on there. But when we're wholesalers and we're actually saying, okay, I found this piece of property here, and I have control over it, and I'm actually offering it over here to the cash buyer, that's simply saying right now during this time frame, during this period of ownership, there is no liens on it or encumbrances. Okay. Now, the bargain warranty, the bargain deed, is very limited protection as well. There's absolutely no warranties. It just simply implies that you have ownership, and it's generally for foreclosures and tax sales. And what that means is that if there's a property that you're getting and it's going through foreclosure or it's coming through a tax sale, then basically they're just saying that, hey, we have it. The bank says, hey, we own it, or whoever you're getting it from says we own it. That's basically all you're getting there, okay? And then, of course, you do your title search to make sure that everything's clear upon it before you actually finish your purchasing. Now, there's also the quit claim deed. A lot of people have heard about this. And that's basically transferring from, it could be from a family member to a family member where there's a lot of trust involved, or, when you're an individual and you have an LLC and then you have another LLC over here, you want to maybe switch it over to your land trust or something like this from your previous LLC. It's a simple way to do those things, and there's absolutely no implied protection upon that as well. So those are your 4 types of your deeds, your physical documents: general warranty, special warranty, bargain, and a quit claim. Okay. Now, also, there's 4 ways to hold your title. There's tenancy in common, tenancy by the entirety, joint tenancy, and the community property. Okay. Tenancy in common is generally the most common. It is basically saying that it's an undivided fractional interest. It's a unity of possession. Now, if let's say, for instance, those 2 people, they hold the title in tenancy of common, that means I own a certain percentage, you own a certain percentage, but I don't have to talk to you to sell my percentage to somebody else. Okay, and if something happens to me, and then it goes to whoever I actually have my to my heirs. Okay, so basically it gives you the most amount of rights there, individualized rights. Now, you can also do tenancy by the entirety. Now, this is only respected in certain states, so you have to look up in your state, is this how your title has been held. Okay, each owns a particular interest, just like before, but you must get permission from the other person before you're able to sign off on it or anything like that. Okay. Now, there's joint tenancy. Now, that's the same type, but you still have to have permission to do anything, and it also passes to the co-owner instead of your heirs. Okay, this one passes to, and it's a good distinction here, it passes to the co-owner instead of your heirs. Okay, so it's very needful to understand how the title is being held when you're doing certain types of deals. Okay. Then there's community property, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. That means it's a husband and wife involved, and it belongs to both of them, and it passes according to however they've stated in their will. Okay, so those are the 4 types and 4 ways that we can hold title. That title is being held as well. Now, excuse me. Now we're going to talk about control versus ownership. Now, we went over those terms and the different ways just to give you a brief grasp on, the different things as we go forward. As I, maybe using these terms, then you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from and those type of things, and you'll have some more education or some more credibility when you're talking to people and you're understanding, okay, as you're reading the scripts, what we're asking, what we're saying on there. So your control versus ownership. Now, equitable title is defined as the right to obtain ownership. Okay, when you say equitable title, that means that, say for instance, in the contract itself, the contract conditions have not been fulfilled yet, but you have the right to sell the property. Okay, that could be an option, it can be an assignment. So those type of things, you have the right to obtain ownership. Now the legal title happens when you've actually fulfilled all your contractual your contractual conditions. That means that whatever is written in that contract, you've met them all. All the money has been given. Everything is good to go. Now you actually have legal title, and it's completely yours. Excuse me. And then what we were looking at the difference between those two, so you can understand what we're doing. You don't actually have to have purchased the property completely before you can sell it. That's what equitable title means. Excuse me so much. And then there's the arbitrage, and that's the practice of taking advantage of the difference between the motivated seller and the end buyer. And that's what we were talking about, wholesaling. That gives you the right to actually be the wholesaler, or it gives you a right as you're, assigning the contract to someone, or you take an option, or you're giving an option to someone, as we spoke of before in our other trainings and stuff like that. So that means that arbitrage simply is the controlling of the property so that you can make the money in between as a wholesaler, as you have a motivated seller over here and a cash buyer over here. You have that arbitrage is to stating that you are the principal person that can make that in between. Now, excuse me. Let me get a little water here while give me a second or so. But as we go through these, we're always going to have our calls on Monday, and we've combined those with our mastermind group, where we're going to go over some mindset training, some mindset, how to get yourself in position and understanding more about yourself, getting the inspiration that's already there with you, because you're already good. What we're doing here on these calls is allowing you to renew excellence, because what's in you already is enough to get you to where you want to be. You just have to refine it. You just have to sharpen the saw, if you would, so that you can get the confidence to exude that's what's already within you. And so many people have said that, this is who I am, or this is just how I am. How you are is fluid. People say people don't change. That's not true. People change all the time. Now there are different core values and different things like that may take time to change, but people are always changing. That's why people are growing. That's why people are becoming from, rags to riches stories, because they've changed their processes. They've changed their mindsets. They've changed the structure, the strategy, and their skills to become a different type of individual. And the only way you can achieve your end goal is to be able to change in the middle according to the things that you go through, okay? And that's the mindset training that we'll be going through. And I do want to, apologize for all the coughing and stuff like that in between time. And also what we're going to be doing as well on Mondays is the real estate investing classes. And what this is a short call itself. And basically what we wanted to do, and just give you some introductory terms. And then on the call for the episode 4, then we'll be going into a few more terms, and we're going to be going over the 4 types of investing, what's good for cash flow, what's good for cash now, cash later, what's good for quick cash. And so expect that also into your emails by Friday as well. And then what we'll do on Monday, we'll start over again. And we'll be going back into wholesaling, different structures, how to find the buyers, how to find cash buyers, how to find motivated sellers. We'll be talking about marketing and those type of things. So stay tuned. And once again, everything will be on our YouTube channel, and also will be on themichaelholmes.com. You'll be able to see the real episodes there as well. So guys, I really thank you for your time. And always, like I say, always don't quit, just renew excellence. You guys, and I'll see you later, and give us a call anytime you need. You can text me at 470-755-1868, and you also can reach me at michaelholmes@themichaelholmes.com. I really appreciate you guys. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.